So it's Friday evening. We're just getting settled in here at the cabin. It's too late to do any actual tunneling tonight. But we are going to get set up so we can hit it hard first thing in the morning. My plan is to get up at the crack of dawn, get the jackhammer rolling. We're only here on weekends, so we got to put everything away on Sunday afternoons before we leave. Lock up some stuff. So every time when we arrive here, we got to set everything back up again. That kills a fair bit of time. But if we get everything hooked up tonight, get the winch out set up, and the cart ready to roll, should be good to go for first thing in the morning. We just tuck everything in there while we're going. That winch is too big and heavy to really wander off with, so we just risk it and leave it in here. First order operation is going to be to break all that rock out there in the bottom. Shouldn't take long. We've already put the grout in there last weekend. You've probably seen it in the last video. And then we're going to pull down this ceiling, knock all that rock down, get a new piece of ceiling reinforcing up there. If I've got time, I'm going to try to carve a little tool cubby over on this side, just somewhere I can stick the jackhammer and the shovels and stuff. That's the problem working in the tunnel. It's so narrow, so to be able to pull dirt out with the cart, I have to take all the tools out so they don't get in the way. So it's a bit of a pain every time. So if I had a little tool cubby, I could just throw everything out to the side. Such a beautiful evening. We're actually going to go do a little sightseeing on the ATV as soon as we get the winch and everything set up, ready to roll. Okay, so that's it. With the exception of plugging in the jackhammer, this thing's ready to roll. So I'll hit it first thing tomorrow morning. We're gonna put in a good day tomorrow. I feel good about it. I'm excited. Can't wait to get up in the morning. That's the problem with this project being so far from home. It's over an hour drive from our house to here, so it's only on weekends. It eats me alive during the week. I've broken that rock there 100 times in my mind. But for now, I'm gonna fire up the ATV. We're gonna go for a little tour. So it's finally go time. The first thing I gotta do is hook up a light on the ceiling, something more permanent than the battery lights. Okay, so that new light is gonna be beautiful. I'm sure I'm gonna hit my head off it every 2 minutes, but small price to pay. Okay, so here's the rock we drilled and grouted last weekend. You can see grout right here, and grout right here, and here, there, down there. So you can tell this rock face here is really shattered. Right here again is shattered. But this big chunk down here, the one I really needed to break, I can't see no visible cracks in it. I'm surprised. Now maybe my own fault if it's not cracked. I was trying to use that new grout pump system and it went in the holes faster than I thought, and it might have just plugged the top of the hole, not actually ran down in the full depth of the hole. So on that upper rock, you can tell the grout actually went right to the bottom of the hole. So that's promising. But this big one still does seem to be pretty solid. We'll get her. So this chunk of rock is really giving me a lot of grief. It is hard. The jackhammer's not really penetrating it at all. But it's actually got a layer of softer rock underneath it and on top. So you'd think it would come out of there, but there's no movement whatsoever. So I'm going to drill a series of holes along this back side of it, try to create a fault line. Hopefully that works. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh dear. Oh man. That is really stuck. I don't know. Might just have to leave this here as a monument to failed dreams. Looked promising at first. It broke that corner off. But the hole is just the right size that that jackhammer bit goes down in there. Jams itself. There's a good chance that the rock might split if I keep going with the jackhammer down, keep going down. But there's also a good chance that the jackhammer is going to be stuck there forever. If I can get the jackhammer removed off the bit, I can put the other bit in. See what I can do. I'll keep trying that. The problem is it's really caught right there, not letting me pull the actual jackhammer up. A little bit of movement. That's never coming out of there. Oh man, I gotta stop doing this. It's one of the most satisfying things you can do right there in life. Oh, she's a battle. I'll check that out though. Oh. There's another one. Just keep going. Man, that piece is really taking the fight out of me. I think I'm going to give in and grout it and then move on while the grout is setting and cracking. I can still knock down the top, get ready for the ceiling piece. Just won't be able to get that support leg in there. That rock is right in the way. So I'll drill some holes, mix up some grout, get that done. So I've got that rock all grouted. That's got to do the trick. Can't believe how hard that rock is though. But that'll break it with enough time. So we're just gonna have to abandon that rock for now. Concentrate my efforts over on this side, get this all cleaned out. And then I'll just start pulling down the ceiling. And then by the time I get the ceiling all down, either later on tonight or tomorrow, I can go back and get that rock out and get the ceiling braces up. So I just cleaned out the bottom of the last section of the tunnel. I'm at a moment of decision. Let me show you. So the bottom's actually nice and flat right here. But the issue is, I think I'm starting to slowly creep up from the entranceway. Just looking by eye, I'm thinking I'm probably 3 or 4 inches higher. So as much as I want to start tearing down the ceiling right here, I think I'm going to bite the bullet and take this floor down a little bit deeper. I don't know, I hope I'm not opening up a can of worms. It seems to be pretty soft rock down there, but who knows till you get at it. So I'm running a little bit behind from my original plan. My parents actually stopped in unexpectedly. My father's wanting a tour of the tunnel. He was an underground miner for quite a few years. And he's 79 years old now, but it's still in his blood. I grew up hearing stories about mines and mine cave-ins and all sorts of mine adventures. You guys never done nothing by hand back in the day, did you? Everything was already machines by that point?
Well, we used to have to hand muck quite a bit, because everything was run on track, right? And
Yeah.
say, it was small loaders nowadays, right? First when we started, on last was okay. The owner could read the part there right there.
Oh yeah.
So if you got one in part that there,
Yeah.
well, they got to be hand mucked. That's where we got in trouble with me and the other fellow. On the Saturday night shift off the shift leader, you know what I mean? We used some dynamite and put him behind there, right? The pusher there. And we brought the headings out up 125 feet away, right?
Yeah.
Almost killed everybody that was on that thing. I think Monday I went in to see him. I was smiling when in the afternoon shift, right? I went in. I had a smile on his face. And that mine captain said, "Baxter, get that smile off your face." This is serious business.
And so here we are. So they were here for a while, but now I'm back to work. Gotta clean up this bottom and start jackhammering this top down. So it's finally time to start taking down the ceiling. I've got the sled right to the back of the tunnel. I'm going to try peeling off some of this, try to get at least some of it to land in the sled. Save a little bit of shoveling. I'm dreading this. It's a lot of work right here. So I'm not going to get this ceiling piece up here today. Hopefully tomorrow, but I'm not even sure about that right now. The jackhammer's been knocking the wind out of me today. It's quite warm again today, pushing 30 degrees Celsius. I've got a lot of dirt down here, probably 3/4 of a cubic yard. I've taken, I think, about five of the little sled loads out of here so far today. Most of them were rock from the bottom, but a lot of stuff from the ceiling as well. It's going well. It's just a lot of physical work. It's actually quite solid roof. Still no signs of cracking there in that rock. Hopefully by morning, that rock's going to fight me right to the bitter end, but I'll win. Yeah, hopefully soon we're going to have some new technology here that's going to make this a little easier. Hoping to anyways, dreaming about it. I don't want to say too much in case it doesn't happen, but if it does happen, it's going to be exciting. But that's a wrap for this day. I'm going to go up to the cabin, get cleaned up. So it's another beautiful fall morning, but sadly it's Sunday morning, which means I haven't got long to work down there in the tunnel this morning. We're going to get done what we can get done before we got to pack up and get out of here. But I've had to drastically reduce my expectations for this weekend. But we'll see what we can get done. A little bit more jackhammer to clean out the corners. These panels are 24 inches wide, so I got to get a full 24 inches of flat roof section before I can start putting the panel up. It peels down pretty easy from up there. It's just hard holding that jackhammer up above your head. But I've now got a nice flat working face. Looks good, nice and solid. And the roof is actually nice and solid now as well. You can flake a little bit off there with the pick, but overall it's pretty substantial. As for my nemesis rock here in the corner, it still hasn't cracked yet, or at least not that I can see. That grout has been in those holes now for 24 hours. If I was to wail on it now with the jackhammer, it might break loose, but there's nothing visible by eye anyways. So I do need that big rock out of there before I can put the leg up that supports the ceiling. So it might not be a go for this weekend, but we're going to keep pulling down the ceiling, see what we can get done. So that actually went better and faster than I was expecting. The top is all cleaned up, back far enough and high enough that the next ceiling piece can fit in. Went pretty well actually. But now we have a mountain of muck to take out of here. Probably a better part of a cubic yard. So I'm going to get it all cleaned out and then take a look at that big rock in the corner. See if it's broken or not. So everyone's been asking why I'm digging this tunnel. In all honesty, the answer is complicated. I've always wanted to dig a tunnel with no real end purpose in mind. Just digging a tunnel for digging a tunnel's sake. When you're an adult, it feels like you have to attach a monetary value to any projects you do. And so it was the same for me. So the tunnel digging project got put on the back burner. Just a dream. But lately I've been realizing how much time we actually spend on our phones and on screens, being told how bad the world is. It was kind of getting me down. So I decided to just try to take a break from it as much as possible. So I've been trying to pull myself out of the downward mental spiral of doom scrolling and living with the screen in my hand and just doing stuff that makes me happy. So one weekend I just grabbed a shovel and started digging up here. And here we are 3 months later. Now this is just a weekend project and not even every weekend, just when I can get to it. But we're making good progress and it's lots of fun. So in reality, this tunnel has no purpose other than just for enjoyment. That being said, I do have some, I don't know if you want to call them goals or ideas that if I can keep going as far as I want to go, that it'll slowly keep morphing into bigger and bigger ideas. I can give you a little nutshell version of what they are so far. For lack of a better term, phase 1 is just what we're doing now. It's dig a tunnel just for tunnel's sake, just to see how feasible it is and how doable it is. And if I can actually physically dig through the solid bedrock, it looks like I'm able to. So phase 1 is going well. Phase 2 is if I can get into solid rock and potentially open up some sort of a small room. Again, no real design or idea in mind, just some sort of a little usable space. Just maybe store stuff, maybe just like a little hangout area. Who knows? Just a fun little thing to do. So this project is extremely physical, obviously. But I'm glad I started it. It's been very rewarding, very satisfying, digging at the rock and creating something out of nothing. It's good for the soul. And good for the brain. There's lots of engineering involved here. Just not slapping this bracing up. There's a lot of math involved. And it's just fun learning new techniques and new things. So one other potential use for this tunnel that I've been thinking about lately is if I can get in and open up that room that I was talking about, I could potentially put some sort of a cistern in there to hold rainwater off the roof of the cabin, and that way it wouldn't freeze, and I'd have year-round water instead of having to bring water up here. It could be treated with a UV light or something. Be even more amazing if I could actually hit a little vein of water in here somewhere and dig out an actual dug well underground. That'd be pretty cool. But that, I think, is probably more of a fantasy. We're pretty high up on a hill and probably above the water table. But who knows? We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. And my digging partner has been under the weather this weekend, so she's not been in this video at all. But hopefully next weekend she'll be back. I know I sure could use the help. She fits in this tunnel better than I do, so I could use the shoveling help. But anyways, guys, that's all the time I have for this weekend. Thanks for watching. Take care.